Beautiful. Great. Well, welcome, Terry Johnson. Welcome, everybody. Actually, this is our Realtor Mastermind. And I know I said Realtor with 3 syllables. It's supposed to be 2. I catch heck for that all the time in the gallery, so I appreciate that. Giving me a hard time. My name is Jim Lambright. My wife and I have been selling real estate here going on 3 decades in the state of Ohio. And one thing we've learned over our long career in selling houses is that it's important for agents to help each other. We need to help give each other tips, tricks, and hints, especially from different marketplaces, because a lot of times realtors in the same marketplace just kind of copy each other. It gets to be this kind of almost incestuous type thing where people are just copying each other. So learning from other super successful agents in other markets outside of your place is a great way to go. So in the chat box, if you'd like to put your name and where you're from, and also your contact information. Terry, I see your name in the chat box, but if you want people to get a hold of you, you'd probably like to put your cell phone or email in there or something if people want to send you a referral. Agents that are on here, obviously, are a different caliber. They're agents who are looking to better their career, so they're people you probably want to network with. So we're going to get started here. I'm going to introduce you to our panelists today. We're going to be taking questions in the chat box, and what we'll do is at the end, we'll go through and do the questions. So if you have a question that pops in your mind, you can go ahead and put it in the chat box, and then we'll get to your questions after that. So I'm going to introduce to you Drew Schroeder. Drew's a mega agent out of the state of Indiana. Personally himself, he does $32 million a year in production. His team does over $50 million a year in production. So he's a good guy to listen to. Here's what he's going to tell you today. Rumor has it, Drew has never paid for a lead. He doesn't pay for leads. He doesn't believe in it. He generates his leads organically. And today he's going to open his playbook. He's got some slides and everything for you. He's going to show you how he does it. This is something you can take, plug and play, put right into your business so that you can generate leads and not have to spend money. Because as we know in real estate, it doesn't matter how much you make. It matters how much you keep, right? How much do you profit off your business? So with that, let me introduce Drew Schroeder, mega agent. Again, questions you have, type them in the chat box. Introduce yourself with your contact information in the chat box, and I'll show you how to copy that chat later so you have everybody's contact information. Drew, take it away, brother.
All right, Jim, thank you. Can you see my screen okay?
We can see your screen.
And are there windows of people, or can you guys see it all pretty clear?
We see you, man. I'm going to spotlight you for everyone, and there you go.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on the show today. I believe, guys, that, you know, the moment you prepare is the moment that you care. And when Jim and John invited me to speak to you today, I care, and there's no excuses. I didn't look at this as a half-hearted effort. I'm giving you all that I've got here and 20 years of experience, and really just want you guys to walk away with one thing that you could implement today. Could be 10 things, could be 20 things. I actually have 20 different things that I'm going to be talking about. I think when I started my real estate career, I did not have my family yet. I met Lindsay, about eight years into my business. I started at 22 years old. I'm turning 42 next Monday. You all have the day off for my birthday on Memorial Day. So
happy birthday, man. Thanks for the present day off.
Yeah. So, but I knew that I wanted to find my wife and have a family. I'm lucky to have 4 siblings in Indianapolis. My wife has 3, both sets of grandparents. We all live 15 minutes from each other. So my why in real estate has always been, you know, my family. And I know that you guys work extremely long hours and work extremely hard. And there's times that you get frustrated because you've got a lot of things that are out of your control, and just always go back to why you're doing it. And don't forget the why either. Like, make sure you're making time for them. And that's one thing that I can tell you is it's not my goal to be the #1 agent in the city of Indianapolis. It's my goal to be the best husband and the best dad I can be, and just be the best version of myself. There's never a comparison game. It's just tunnel vision. And it's like, my whole motto is try to be the better version of Drew than the day before. And so I think if you guys focus on those, just your why, and think about it every single day and have pictures and reminders of your family, I think you'll just live a very, you'll have a successful career. It'll be well balanced, and you'll flourish. So just wanted to get into some actionable items that I think about and that I practice daily. And talking about the preparation, like, I'm showing you guys the playbook so you can steal all this. If some of the stuff, I'm sure it's not all going to make sense to you. So feel free to, I'll put my contact info in the, on the chat after this. Text me, call me. I mean, any of my agents that are on here know that I'm pretty accessible. So first thing I want to talk about is showing gratitude. You're never going to get to the top of the mountain by yourself. So you need other people to be raving fans of you. So I am constantly thanking people for their referrals, whether or not, the actual referral gets to the closing table. It's so important to reward the behavior of that referral, not the result. So the second somebody sends me a name, I'm sending them, if they're bourbon drinkers, I'm dropping off Basil Hayden or Angel's Envy, whatever they drink, and I know what they drink, just as a thank you. I know Jim, Stacy's a big bourbon drinker.
I'll take some Blanton. Stacy will take some Stag Junior, number
There
one.
you go. But like, here's an example of something that I do every Thanksgiving is I'm sending out a text just thanking people for, their continued support on Thanksgiving. And there's lots of different things throughout the year that I'm doing just to stay in front of people and stay top of mind when they think of anyone looking to buy or sell a house. Every listing that I sell, it's a bittersweet process when people are selling their house. It could be, it's exhausting at times. They want it to be a perfect place for the next family. There's a lot of memories that they're leaving behind. So when they get to the closing table, every single one of my sellers, I have a hand-painted ornament of the house. And I'd say 90% of the males are crying at the table at the closing table, because this is an emotional business and there's just so many memories. And every single year around Christmas time, I'd say, but people are putting up their Christmas tree after Thanksgiving. Around Thanksgiving, same time my texts are going out, they're sending me my favorite ornament. Love this. I just had somebody move from Northern Indiana. I wasn't the agent that sold that house, but I'm a private investigator and borderline stalker and can be very resourceful. And I looked up the house based on the earnest money check, and they raised their kids in that house. They just moved from South Bend basically to Indiana. I told them, you guys, if you want to be close to your grandkids, it's probably better to go to Florida where it's much better weather climate, but they didn't care. They wanted to go Indiana. But these are $40. And actually it's my mother-in-law that does it. And I'm sure you could find a local person, or I can give you her contact information and she could mail it to you. Doesn't matter what company you're at. It's therapeutic for her. And it's such a nice gift. This was actually probably the coolest story is there's 7 brothers and sisters all around the country. Or actually there's 8. And this was a home that they lived, their family owned for 70 years. They selected me as the realtor. They have to rent out a restaurant for their family Christmas. And they all are across the country. I won't be the agent for all of them, but they all got an ornament. And guess what? One of the brothers in Florida referred me a client last year, and I've never even met the guy. Multiple touch points. It's important to have this high tech and high touch business. So some of these things are going to be automated things that I leverage technology to do. And then sometimes there's going to be some things that I take a lot of time and pride in being as authentic as I can, because I don't want people to feel like I'm spamming them, or I want them to think that I took the time to wish them, happy birthday or provide value in some way. But this is something that I use via KV Core. I have like a 6-touch automated email after the closing, post-closing campaign is what I call it. I'm happy to share that with you guys, but this is something that in Indiana, we have tax exemptions. So I'm always trying to do my job and let them know what they're entitled to as a homeowner. I do a Santa Schrader TV giveaway. So I take all the people that bought or sold and all the people that referred the buyers and sellers. Say there's 100 houses sold in 2022. There's probably 200 people in this drawing. And then I do dress up like Buddy the Elf and I give away a TV. It costs me $350 each year, Black Friday special. And I've had some agents do iPad giveaways, and you guys can take the TV thing, imitation's the highest form of flattery, in my opinion. And this is just such a great way. If you do it consistently, you're going to get a call from Pat Zimmerman, like I got the other day. And he said, "Hey, Luke's moving back to Indiana. Does this get me in your TV giveaway?" I'm like, I can't believe that $350 might turn into a $15,000 commission. This is what I send out. I send it in October. I make up the rules, guys. So fourth quarter, I'm always sending an email out to everyone in my sphere and saying, you got an entry. And guess what? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I use KV Core for this, and I double the entries because, again, I make up the rules. And then people are thinking, I'm going to keep putting people in touch with Drew. And as you can see, it's uniquely written. This is not a robot writing this, but I'm happy to share with you guys whatever, what are they called? Tokens, if you are a KV Core user. Now, this is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, but I procrastinated on it, and that was HomeBot or KV Core. Also, and there's lots of different programs you can do, gang, but why would I send this to them every 28 days? Any guesses? I'm going to say Jim is probably the only one that can talk, maybe. Do you have any idea, Jim, why I would
They can put it in the chat box if they want, but no, I'm thinking every 28 days. So you get 13 touches instead of 12.
Oh my gosh, I promise that was not a softball setup. But yes, it's just more touches. And it allows me to touch them 13 times automated. And this is what it looks like. This is HomeBot. This is $25 a month. You can have up to 500 households. And this guy's name is Daventry Burroughs, and I get a digest every Monday on who is looking at their HomeBot, and Daventry's just went crazy all of a sudden. Of course, me being the private investigator / stalker, just checking in. Daventry, how you doing? He's like, "Hey, perfect timing. I'm actually thinking about selling. I can see that I've got $170,000 in equity. Could you come out to my house?" I mean, he's going to list in 30 days. I put Josh Metallic on HomeBot. Josh's mom, Jerry, sends me this email. "Hey, Greg and I are trying to move up near the girls, and he told me about HomeBot. Can you give us an estimate?" So like, people are talking about this program, and it's like, okay, this is well worth my time. And all I do is, now it's a goal of mine to get 2 people in HomeBot every single week. Love bringing people pizza, or like, especially during COVID, we have Ale Emporium boneless Hermanaki wings. Jim, if you ever come to Indy, it'll be my treat. But
I'll be there in 3 hours.
it is unbelievable. But I went to Ale Emporium during COVID and bought a $1,000 gift card, got $250 back. So, and then that was my thing. I would just show up on moving day with wings, pizza, and people would just be going crazy. And guess what? Their family's there, and we love Drew, and Drew's great. Can't believe he did that. And then there's just more touches that you get with somebody that you just provided a great experience to. I love hosting. I was the social chairman back in the fraternity days at IU, go Hoosiers, and love to invite people into my house, and I hire a sushi guy, and he comes and makes the sushi, and it's always connecting people. Like I've had orthopedic medical device guys come, and to surgeons that they're the device guy's trying to get in front of this other doctor, and he's never been able to. Well, guess what? They're both clients. So I put those guys to get together, and now they use each other a lot. And it's just, those are the types of things that you can do, inviting people in. And, you know, it's hard. I also will do this at people's house. You know, somebody just bought a $3.5 million house, and that's not the only size price range I sell in, but I'm just like, if it's a big deal, those are the people you want to definitely get in front of, and you have a party, offer to throw them a housewarming party, because guess what? They're going to have friends too, and you're going to get FaceTime with all of them. I love, as much as I love planning and connecting, I go to as many different things as I can, instead of having the attitude of, oh gosh, I got to be dragged to another wedding. Like, be on, while the bride and groom's on one side of the room, you need to be shaking hands and kissing babies on the other side, and meeting as many people as you can. And how do you know the bride and groom? Like I used to go around and take pictures of every table and then give it to the bride and groom as a gift. Like in my single days, when I used to go to, gosh, I think I was in like 12 weddings in 2005 or something like that. It was nuts. So that was my thing. And the bride and groom loved this Polaroid picture. And then they, you know, I made like a scrapbook for the bride and groom. It was a nice touch. Birthday parties is what we're into now. As you can see, my kids are 10, 8, and 6. And I go to as many of those as I can. We got to sit there anyways. Some people are weird about leaving their kids with people don't really know that well, but they know that they go to the kids' school. Well, I'm there and I'm talking to the parents while we watch our kids play. Friendsgivings, Christmas parties, you name it. It's just, you're one conversation, you're one connection away from meeting your next client. This is so easy. Become friends on Facebook and social media with every person in your sphere, and you wish them a happy birthday. I like to add humor to it. I've been doing this for many, many years, and they know that they're getting some sort of wish from me. Right now, it's like, so this is from a couple of years ago. Bob Saget, Derek Huff, let's see, and Ryan Davis. And all are my 3 favorite people in the world, all a year older today. Happy birthday. And then he sends back, my street cred goes down significantly, sharing a birthday with Danny Tanner. Then his wife's birthday is a couple days later. Malcolm X, Kevin Garnett, and Laura Davis. And it's just adding humor to it. And again, being that resource outside of real estate is huge. And systematically doing it. So guess what? I told you my birthday is May 29th. They will do it back to you. They will think it's so funny that you thought of them, and it's unique. You didn't just write on their Facebook wall. You took the time to send them did some research and made them laugh and smile. And so when it's my birthday, I get all types of unique cameos and all these different things, because I'm always taking the time for them. This is a big one. This is so easy. This was my goal probably the first 10 years before, pre-Lindsay, pre-kids. I would say for the first 10 years of my business, I would every single week of the year, no off weeks. If you miss a week, you go on spring break or fall break, that's fine. Make it up somewhere else. 156 meetings every single year. I guarantee you 10% of them will either buy, sell, or refer you a client. And in the average commission on a $250,000 house in Indianapolis is $7,500. I'm going to get 15 deals from that. And that was my goal. That's what, I mean, I talked to a lot of agents. What's your income goal? 100,000. Like everybody seems to be 100,000. This is the easiest way for you to control that you're making six figures each and every year. Love this. So as I've grown with my clients, I've realized how important it is to not give them Drewco Realty Nike Dry Fit golf shirts. You tailor the gift to the receiver. When the Facebook announcement comes out, you screenshot it, you send it to, I sent it to my mother-in-law, $26 later, she sends it back, she has it made, and it's my goal to have it in their mailbox before they get home from the hospital. And she'll do this from anywhere across the country as well, guys. But I did 62 of them last year. Like I did my taxes, so I know that. And it is super impactful. And it's been fun to see a lot of agents that I work with do the same. So she will, if you're in Indianapolis, she'll send them. I'm like the free courier for her business. I get, I guess it's just being a good son-in-law, I guess. But anyways, I digress. So coming to 12, have to have a system. As you guys are getting these connections and you're at this birthday party and somebody talks about real estate, that they might do something in the next 12 months, you have to have a system. Mine is just a big Google sheet, and I stay on top of it, and I'm putting names and I'm moving them around based on kind of the order of when I think they're going to buy or sell. And it's a tracking thing. I'm sure Jim has something very similar to this, but you just have to be proactive instead of reactive, because I think things will fall through the cracks if you don't have a system of writing things out, and it kind of sets the tone for the entire week. It's so important to work on the business, not just in it. A lot of agents are spending time showing houses, counter offers, whatever it may be. You got to continue to keep the pipeline going. And so you got to know who's going to be who you can help next. We have a system after closing where we're asking for testimonials. Gosh, like I was calculating this the other day. Going through my last 18 months, people are finding me on Zillow, and I'm not a Zillow agent, guys. I've never given them $1, but I post all the stuff, all my reviews there, and that's my link. And so when I do that, I get these people calling me and saying, well, hey, I saw your, what did they say? They said, I saw you on the internet and everyone seems to love you and all your reviews. And you sold the home down the street in 2 days. Would love for you to come interview. Oh my gosh. And it's social media material. You can take whatever off of Zillow and post it. And this is kind of what my ask is. And again, that could be something that I share with you guys if you wanted to see the scripts of what the post touch looks like. This is something that I'm super excited about. This is my first time doing it this year, and we're taking all the people we've sold this year, and we're gonna put their last name on a towel. And it's just going to be, thanks for your continued support. Here's to kicking off summer. And then it's just going to be a system where, okay, we're going to deliver these towels for every closing pending up until June 1st. And then the next batch will be for, the next year when we do this. And it'll just become a system. And these are high quality towels, again, with the family's last name on it. And I guarantee they're not going to just leave it by the pool. It's going to be the first towel they grab when they go to, wherever they're going to swim. This is a staple. So I'm your friend that loved Napster back in the day. I was the guy making burning CDs of all different types of things, gangster rap, country.
Drew, you weren't stealing the music. You were just borrowing the music on Napster.
I'm like Buddy the Elf, spreading Christmas cheer for all to hear. So what I mean by that is I'm putting myself on these CDs, and I got to a point where I had this CD tower where I was burning 600 of them, Jim. And then I realized there's a lot of people that I had to go on Best Buy, and when I would send out a text that I dropped it in their mailbox, I'd have to send them a link to Best Buy's $40 CD player because nobody owns a CD player anymore. So then I switched and I said, we're going to Spotify. And now I can do 2,200 different people in my KV core get a link to my Spotify playlist. I took all my years past. I've got every single album on there, and I send it to people, and they love it. And it's just a lot of people have their different traditions, whether it's putting up the Christmas tree with the family, or they drive to Chicago and on their way back home from Indy, they're either popping in Drew's CD or now my Spotify playlist. And they are thinking of me because, again, I'm just showing up. And we're not even talking about real estate. We're just, here's my favorite thing to do is make them really feel special. I forgot I put this in here. So here's Laura Lawrence. This is a past client of mine. I wish her the happy birthday, but then I want Laura to feel really special. And I'm going to say, here's your backstage pass to the Behind the Music Megan Trainor jam that's going to be on this year's CD. And she's like, I love this. My head was swaying. This is ear candy. So again, it's just another touch. And it's me, it's real and it's authentic, and people want to hear from you. Love this. Like when I was prior to being single, or prior to being married, when I was single, I would give back to lots of different charities. I feel like being a go-giver and getting involved in your community, your church, your kids' school, if you're married, if you have kids, whatever it is, just give back. This team on the left, this exact game was the championship game. We're down 9 points in the first quarter. I believe a great coach can change a life. A good coach can only change a game. So I'm trying to impact them outside of just teaching them how to play basketball. But this game sticks out because I said, boys, you get a sleepover at my house if we come back and we win this game. And the guy on the far left is a second grader, Jace. And I mean, he just turned into a monster, and we destroyed the other team. And the sleepover is actually tonight. So and they added a bunch of their friends. So Lindsay's just, why did you sign up for this, Drew? So we've got wiffle ball, soccer goals. We got everything set up at our house. It's going to be fun. I took 3 days.
You're gonna need some caffeine, Drew, because those kids are gonna keep you up all night.
She's already said I got the night shift, so it's going to be a midnight lights off situation. I took 3 days off for this 4th grade camping trip. And when people give, and I was the chaperone, I went up there and I'm sending pictures and videos back to all the parents who are worried about their kids going on this overnight. And the whole time I'm texting the parents back and forth individually. And I probably had 20 different text group chains going with the husband and wife, and they just love that. And how you do anything's how you do everything. So if they know that I care and that I'm taking care of their kids and being kind, and I'm super detailed when it comes to the communication for the basketball scheduling, who are they going to trust with their real estate needs? Like, they haven't had a bad interaction with me at all. So think about that. Like, if you are trying to be, this is a twofer, guys. You can be the best dad, husband, all at the same time, or, wife and mom all at the same time, or grandma, whatever it may be. I think this is like a hot button in our business. I didn't know 20 years ago social media was like a thing, and I needed to be like an expert on it. So I've some of it's automated, some of it's really authentic. If you look at my stories today, that is me posting. Some of the static stuff are things. Ooh, I got some static from somebody. If some of the stuff is automated that we plan out ahead of time, but some of it definitely you have to be posting. But what I've challenged you guys to do, well, what do I say? Don't just post about real estate. Like, blend your personal and your professional lives together. The secret is, how do you make people feel comfortable? I'm sure that you guys feel comfortable with me. And if you weren't like realtors yourself, you'd be like, this guy is somewhat funny. I know he has a monotone voice, and he's bald at 42 years old, but gosh, I trust him. Like, you need to talk about the vulnerability. That's what I'm talking about in Ford. I have no problem saying I'm bald and I bite my fingernails, and talk about that. My quirks, like I was just talking about, it drives me nuts when my wife is letting the kids goldfish crackers, throw it all over the car. I love going to Sparkling Image. It's therapeutic for me. Get the car detailed. I'm posting about that. I did that last week and said, are, fellas, dads, are there any other dads out there? Like, I want to start a fan club for this, or support group. And I'm telling you, 20 different people. There were 377 people that saw saw the story, watched every clip of it, and then I can pick and choose who I want to have conversations from that. I think letting people know your why, like, I love my family, like, that's very clear if you follow me on Instagram or social media. And two, and last, it's, what are your passions? I love to play golf. I'm going to post about golf. If you like cooking, talk about cooking classes. But the Planoly, Word Swag, Coffee and Contracts, Canva are just some of the programs that I use just to implement some of this stuff. I have third grade handwriting, yet sometimes Vistaprint handwritten notes on your stationery. I mean, it's never going to go out of style. Letting people know how much, again, showing that gratitude. And I think that's just, people don't do that enough. So I have 500 to do in 2023. And I'm definitely going to get there based on the small stack over there. And then this is just kind of the things that go through my mind, because I know I just talked to you guys about a lot of different things. What are you doing each day? I'm calling, texting, sending video texts to at least 5 people a day, every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. The best social media strategy is not you guys coming up with the best content. It's showing love to other people. Sometimes people will post something and they're like, man, is anyone gonna like this or relate to this? And you be the person to comment on it. I guarantee they'll reciprocate when you post something. And be intentional. Like the birthday messages, I was telling John, I go back and forth. Sometimes if I'm super busy, I can't wish a happy birthday every single day. So I'll pick one day of the month and I'll do 50 different belated birthday videos. And I'm not going to show you, but it's pretty, I will show you actually. And it's Steve Carell from The Office, and people like it. And I basically just say, let's see, happy belated birthday. My family's been spending lots of time rehearsing for your big day and we missed it. Hope you had a good one. Also, as you can tell, Addison's singing voice has been getting much better. Such an angelic singing voice. And then you can see I don't know if you can see it.
Yep, we can see it.
But my daughter is Steve, and people just like love that. And this is, and there's the Rudy soundtrack. John, I told you, John's a big Notre Dame fan. Anytime I have a distracting, this business is just so distracting. So I listen to the Rudy soundtrack. It's not in this thing, but every single day, music with no words is pretty solid stuff. And if you have a piece of paper, if you have a task at hand, you listen to the Rudy soundtrack. The second a distracting thought enters your mind, you write it down on a piece of paper and you get back to the task at hand. You said techno is your thing, Jim, but mine's been the Rudy soundtrack. And then posting 3 times, getting back to this, is something that I'm doing every single week. And this is it. You want it to get done, make it fun, just live the best life you guys can. Let people know what you do along the way. And that's all I got. So fire away with questions. I see 20 chats.
Yep. People can raise their hand if they want to, or you can type in the chat if you have a question. Drew, let's go. We'll pull up the faces. You can stop the screen share. Let's get everybody up so we can see them. Perfect. Look at that. Wow. All right. Great job, Drew. That was awesome. One of the things while we're waiting on some questions to come in that I loved was your social media postings. Something I learned at a convention, a real estate convention, was concentrate on the 3 C's. You ever heard of that, Drew? The 3 C's in social media? So it's 3 C's. Number 1 C, sincere compliments. Compliment. You're looking for anybody on there in your sphere that you can give a sincere compliment. People are looking for validation on social media. That's why they're posting that little Johnny was on the honor roll, right? They're looking for the fact. The compliment is they're a good parent, right? It takes good parenting to have good kids, right? Second C is congratulate. You're looking for somebody you can congratulate. What did they do? Did they get a promotion? Did they do anything? And I love to actually 10X this, what you do, Drew. You actually go to Facebook Messenger, post it on their wall publicly, but then go to Facebook Messenger and even personalize it from there. I think that is just top notch for building the relationship. And then the third one is a big one. Third C is console. Console someone, like somebody just lost their dog. Oh my God. I mean, it's like, it's the worst thing other than losing a child, is losing your dog. It's your best friend. And you know, a lot of people put, I'm sorry, or rest in peace, Fido, or whatever they put in the thing. But using Drew's strategy here, going to Facebook Messenger and letting them hear your voice, and maybe even, you know, if you want to even 10X even more, see your face, and that you're empathizing with them. I think it just builds a bond and a relationship that no one else is doing for them. I love it. And I love the birthday strategy, Drew. That's great. Yeah, I typed something in the box down there. How you do anything is how you do everything. So Cloudy has a question. Great. We got a question, by the way. Anybody wants to put questions in the chat? If you're unable to get to your chat, you're on your phone, just kind of raise your hand on the little emoji thing. But Claudia says this, Drew. So answer this. How can an over 60-year-old market when young people are buying? So how would somebody who's, by the way, Claudia, 60 is young, particularly that from somebody who's pushing 60. That's still young, Claudia. So you're young, but how? That's a great question. How do you connect?
Does she have grandkids?
Oh, Claudia, do you have grandchildren? That would be a great way.
I mean, my parents just came to the wax museum that I was just at for my son, where he was Tony Hinkle, the Butler legend. And my parents go to they're very involved in all the different things, and it just allows you access. You're there not to sell people houses. You're there to be a good grandmother to your grandkids. And then people want to talk about real estate. So it's not like we're selling life insurance. So I would become the best grandmother possible to your kids, and become even more involved in their life. And that will get you access to people that are a lot younger than you.
That's great. Claudia says she is a grandparent. Congratulations, Claudia. That's the best, right? Spoil them right and send them back to the parents. It's payback for when they were kids, right? I got a question for you, Drew, or waiting on another question that popped in my mind. So a lot of the things you were saying sounds time intensive, but what I know and what I want to get from you is, what's the closing ratio difference between a referral coming in from one of your past clients versus a cold lead? Like, I know that's kind of putting you on the spot for numbers wise, but it's got to be a dramatic difference.
95%, I would say, are closed. Like I close them if someone sends me somebody. I mean, it's very, very high.
And then cold internet leads are like 1 to 3% if you're really, really good, and probably around 1% for most people on a cold lead, internet lead or something, right?
I went through my entire database, and I keep like A plus people in there. So of my 400 people in my A plus, I went through and said, who is a buyer or a seller only, and who is a buyer, seller, or referred somebody to me. 80% of the 400 referred and were clients. So like, that's the trick, is those are the people that you try to get referrals from. They know the sauce. They know that the service that you've already provided to somebody that they, maybe a family member or a colleague or coworker. So I think that's it. I think back to Claudia, it's invest in some of the technology, that something like the automated emails, and just stay in touch with the younger generations, and have, that high tech and high touch business where you've just got a, 30 touch program automated each and every year. And that's what I would do.
So Drew, what you're saying is, if I got it right here, you're taking your 1,000-person database or whatever it is, we just use 1,000 for a round number, and you're shrinking that down. So you're not going to 1,000 little kids' birthday parties and stuff. You're going to a much smaller group and investing your time in that relationship because you've sorted it, and they are the most likely to give you a good, solid referral.
Absolutely. Yep.
And you worst thing that happens is you strengthen a human bond and relationship. That's the worst thing that could happen out of
everybody gets the Christmas mix, but then there's only so many people that want, like I dress up like Buddy the Elf, and I have a Santa event, and 446 people came to that, but that's 96 families each year. And that's kind of like, you got to be either buying or selling or referring in order to get invited to that. So there's just different things that I do, Jim, that there's only so much money to go around, but I'm not going to spend money. I don't want bananas on my face at Kroger. You're never going to see a billboard of me. All the money is going back into the relationships, for the people that continue to support me.
You're not renting the bathroom stall ads that they have in there that go in there. You're not doing that, Drew. You're not doing that.
No.
Hey, next time you do this talk, all I request is a Buddy the Elf short video clip embedded into your presentation next time. I need to see that. So that's good. Let's see. So here we go. Lisa said, do you do client events? And that you just answered my question, but go a little deeper into that. That's a great question, Lisa, because I think every person here, no matter where you are in your career, can do a client, a family, friends, and client event combined. But Drew, do you do that?
Yes. So I think the trouble with doing a client appreciation event is you are afraid no one's going to show up. So I would suggest, if you're an individual agent, you partner up with a couple other agents at your brokerage, and one team, one dream, and invite everybody to share the costs. So we've done that with our team, and like for the pumpkin patch event that we do every year, and we hire a professional photographer. My wife likes to get family pictures of my kids like every 6 months, Jim. So I'm either like barefoot in a creek somewhere, or sunflower cornfield on a random purple couch, and just dressing. I'm like a golf shirt guy. Like, she's wearing the denim shirts, button downs. Anyways, I'm not that guy, but it looks good. And I'm like the worst picture person ever, but knowing that I just can't stand that, there's lots of other dads that are in the same boat. So I'm like, hey, instead of you paying that photographer $250, why don't you let me take that off your plate? And I'm going to have bounce houses, and I'm going to have it all catered, but Chick-fil-A, and I'm going to have face painters, and you're going to get a pumpkin patch, and you're going to be doing that anyways. So we've done that. And then what I went to a couple agents that work in our office, and I said, guys, here's the blueprint. Grab 10 other agents and you guys do it on the day, and we'll share like bounce house costs and all that stuff. So that's something that I do every year. And then, yeah, my Santa Express is probably, if you guys, gosh, I should embed it because I have a really solid Instagram reel with me as Buddy the Elf. But that's probably my.
I can make that go viral for you. Make sure you put that on there.
Okay, I'll just tag you next time.
I love the client events. Lisa, Stacy and I started doing ours back in the crash of 08. We're talking like when the crash happened and everybody was going out of business in real estate back then. We partnered, we had no money, right? Our business was down too, but we're like, look, we got to do something different. People need to have some fun. There's too many people sad and upset out there. So what we did is we found all of our allied partners, our lender, our title company, our home inspector, our home warranty company, our property casualty person, right? We brought them all in together and we said, look, here's what we're going to do. What we're looking for as a commitment is to split this thing 6 ways. We're going to put in 1/6 and each of you will put in 1/6 of the bill. We don't know how big it's going to be, but we'll have a cap on it of a certain number of people, but we want to do this thing. And they all bought in on it. And we said, okay, great. So then we did an Eventbrite and we started blasting this thing that was going to be our family and friends and clients get together. For a while, we were called the Buckeye Bash. Then we got sued by The Ohio State University. Got a cease and desist letter to stop that because we were doing it around a Buckeyes game. We decided we didn't want to entertain everybody. How do you entertain everybody? You could do it with the bouncy houses and things like that. We decided that we would do it around a football game. It's about the perfect time, about 3 hours, and we would rent out a sports bar. And we found a bar that wanted to, a local one that wanted to, you know, have more people there and get more exposure. And they offered to give us a deal. And so we started blasting it. The best part about doing the client event is the marketing you get to do to your sphere. Most of them aren't going to come. 98% of them aren't going to come, but that's okay. Nobody gets mad at you spamming them when you're inviting them to a party.
Yep.
And we blast it. We blast it on social media. We do videos, we do posts, we spam the hell out of them. We do mass texting, all of it. And it just gets our face in front of them for about 90 days up until the event. And then we have usually around 300 people that come. When it first started, it was around 50, but that was okay. We were marketing to a couple thousand, right? And that got our name and face out there. And the cost was very small to us because we were splitting it 6 ways. And all of our partners got to come to the event too. They also got to send it out to their sphere. Now, this is pretty interesting. They're sending it out to their people as their part of the party. Now you're getting your face in front of even more people, right? Some of you just caught that. Like, that's a great way to expand your network and be in front of other people. Everybody has to RSVP. There's no cost for them to come there. And then we have a little saying that says, on the adult beverages, everybody only gets 2. And we always wink when we say that. 2, according to our attorney, is all you get. And we wink after that. And it's kind of our funny thing when people come. But it's a great way to start doing these appreciation parties. And you can just literally, as I said before, you can market to people like crazy, and it puts you top of mind awareness. And we start doing it in the summer, and it goes through. We always do it on the last away game of The Ohio State University, and it's huge. And people love to come. They get all dressed up, and we have cheering and stuff going on. And we really don't have to entertain people because the sports bar has the game on everywhere, and that's the entertainment part. We just provide the food and drinks. So love that. That was great. Great question on that, Lisa. We're getting close to wrapping up here. Who else has got a question before we wrap up for Drew? Great stuff on everything he had here. And Drew, where can people get a hold of your slides? Are you going to post
I can post them or however you want me to post in that workplace
you
chat.
can put it in the chat box if you want. And then when for those of you who don't know, we do have a YouTube channel. And if John is on here still, if John, you want to put in the chat box the YouTube channel, forget the name of it all the time. I think it's Realtor Mastermind. There's a bunch of them out there. If not, whoever invited you on here will get you to it. Next week, invite a friend out to come on here. We're just agents, helping agents sharing information in a collaborative atmosphere. And for those of you who are out there listening, hear my voice, if you're an expert at something, like Drew's an expert at buy referral only, not having to buy leads. If you're somebody who has an expertise, get a hold of one of us and maybe we can feature you on here on a panel. We'd love to have you share what you have going on, and that'll be great. we'll make sure for those of you who want to get a copy of the chat, I just learned this the other day, so I'm going to show off here a little bit. Down in the bottom of the chat, the very bottom of the chat, there are 3 little dots. You hover over it, it says more. If you click it, at the very top, it says save chat. That will save everything in the chat, including Drew's contact information right here. It'll save everything in the chat to your desktop, and you'll have it in a text format. You can see everybody else's contact information they put in there and any links that we're going to put. And I'll make sure everybody gets a copy of the video. Go ahead. Say something.
It's not allowing me to add a file.
It won't add. How about just a link? Do you have a link to
it's a PowerPoint.
Do you have a Google Drive? Can you upload to Google
No,
Drive?
it says access. It's restricted by the account admin.
Oh, you know why? Because they don't want people putting that are.
It's in your inbox, or no, it's in John Herhold's inbox.
If you email Drew,
just
we'll
email.
send you over the link or the
That's
PowerPoint
easy.
so you can have a copy of the slides.
I'm
And then
sure
Maisha,
no one will email me.
looks like Maisha unmuted. Did you have a question, Maisha?
No, I'm sorry, that was a mistake.
Oh, no worries, no worries. We're glad you're here with us today. So thanks for jumping on. So I think we're going to wrap up with that. Everybody, congratulations for being different than other agents that are out there, right? You jumped on here. Hopefully you learned something today. I know I did. Been doing real estate for 27 years. Kim said she learned something from Georgia. Great. And we'll have a recording on this. We will know the YouTube channel the next time. I'll have it memorized, the actual YouTube on there. Usually have John on here and he knows it off the top of his head, but that's where we're posting these. We have a bunch of them, how to past ones, how to do open houses, how to generate leads, how to make money by referring over businesses to sell businesses. We had somebody that got $142,000 referral check. That's one of ours that we have on there. Julie, you're unmuted. Did you have a question?
No, I just want to say thank you. It was a fantastic call. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Jim, for getting this together for us.
You're very welcome. Every Thursday at noon Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific. And then for those of you who are in those other time zones, you know how to do the math on it. I'm not good enough to do it on that. Kim, you're unmuted. Anything before we wrap up? Or are you good to go?
Oh, I'm good to go. I was gonna actually post the link on here, but I couldn't copy, so.
No worries. Well, thank you very much, Drew. Go ahead. If you guys need to copy the chat, go down there, click the 3 dots, hit the more, save the chat. And we're going to log off here. We'll be back next Thursday, noon Eastern, and we'll get a topic out to you on who's going to be speaking and what we're going to be speaking on ahead of time. But every single one of them, I learned something. So come on and bring a friend, and we'll all learn together and help each other sell more houses and get over this little blip in the real estate market, this little hump we're going through right now. And we'll come out on the other side and we'll be killing it.